Welcome to Athar's Garage. In this video, I'll be working on the Team Associated T6.4 Bag 7. So let's get started. Alright, so this grease is from Bag 5. So first thing we're going to do is get the rear hubs off the parts tree. Alright, we're also going to need the 0 insert. So we want these two inserts here and here. They have the 0 and the 3. The kit setup is the 0, so we want these two. Alright, so we're going to make two sets. So we want our rear hub link mounts. We need 3 ball stud washers. They're all the same size. And we want a ball stud washer or a ball stud for each side, and 2 M3 by 12 button head cap screws. And we're going to need some blue Loctite. So we want to install the M3 by 12 button head cap screws in the rear hubs, like so. We then want to put the blue ball stud washers on, and then apply some blue Loctite. Then we're going to install the rear hub link mount, and we want to install it with the bump where the hole is, away from the heads of the screw. So just like that. And you just want to snug it up, because if you tighten it too tight, you'll end up compressing the plastic. So next we're going to take the 6mm ball stud. We're going to put the ball stud washer on there, apply some blue Loctite to the threads, and then install it onto the rear hub link mount. Next we can install the rear hub insert, and we're going to install it with the tab facing up. So the 0 and the arrow facing up. So we have the 0 facing up and the tab. So we want to install like so. Okay, so now we can go ahead and prepare the other one. All right, so now I can move on to bag 7, step 2. So let's can get this out of the way. We can go ahead and install our bearings. So the 10 by 15 by 4 bearing will go in on the inside of the hub. And like before, I like to install my bearings with the blue seals facing outward. And then on the other side, we'll install the 5 by 12 by 4 bearing. Now we can go ahead and prepare our axles. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. So we're going to need the axle, the CVA coupler, a CVA pin, and the CVA axle. We have the bone and the axle. So we're going to make 2 sets. So what we want to do is apply some black grease to the CVA coupler. And then we're going to install the CVA coupler in the CVA bone. And we're going to install it so that the hole that's in the CVA coupler is visible. You can kind of see there's a hole there. So now we're going to line up the CVA axle. You see the holes in there. So we're going to line up the axle hole with the axle in the coupler, and then install the CVA pin through all of them. Just like so. And now we can install this in our rear hub, and that CVA pin is going to get captured by the bearing, just like so. So now we can install the clamping wheel hex. So we're going to take another CVA wheel hex pin, which is the same thing as the CVA pin. So we're going to go ahead and install that in the axle. Then we're going to go ahead and take the clamping wheel hex. So take note of the slot in the wheel hex. The pin will install in there. And then we're going to install this M1.6x5 socket head cap screw. And be very careful not to over tighten this, because it is a small thread and can easily strip if you put too much torque into it. So what I like to do here is I will grab the axle threads and pull while I push the wheel hex against the pin, and then I will tighten it. And I'll tighten it just enough so that the wheel hex will stay on there. You don't need to completely close the gap. So let's go ahead and do the other side. All right, we can set the grease and the Loctite aside. Now we need to grab the hub spacers that were on this parts tree. So there's going to be 4 of them. So we're going to get those off the parts tree. All right, so these wheel spacers are the same thickness. So we can grab our chassis. And we're going to install these are bidirectional, so you can install these on either side. So we're going to install the hinge pin from the front. So it's going to go in through the rear hub. Then we're going to install 2 rear hub spacers, and the hinge pin will be tight in the hub, but should rotate freely in the arms. So don't be alarmed if it feels like it's difficult to get through the hub. I feel like I need to sand these down just a bit to make them fit nicely. I feel like it's a bit too tight and it's causing the hub not to rotate freely. All right, I can see a gap in between just ever so slightly, and everything does move nice and free like it should. So let's go ahead and do the other side. And I didn't sand down the spacers for the other side because I don't know how it's going to fit just yet. So it may fit just perfectly fine, and that side just might have been a little too tight. So all right, so this side seems just fine, but let's go ahead and tighten this down and see how it reacts once the lock nut is installed. All right, looks like everything moves nice and free like it should. So that's it for bag 7. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you did. Let me know down in the comments below if you had any issues with this step, and I'll do my best to help you out if I can. Stay tuned for the next video, which is going to be bag 8, where we build the turnbuckles. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.